Hi, and welcome to Tissue Review. I'm DOS350, and in this brand new episode of Tissue Review, we're going to be taking a look at Quilton Extra Thick Hypo-allergenic 3-ply soft. So let's just jump straight into it. But before we do, I'd like to encourage you to smash the frickin' hell out of the like button and the bell button. Alright, let's just jump straight into Tissue Review. So, straight off the frickin' damn bat, we got a nice clean box, a Quilton 3-ply extra thick hypoallergenic. So in here we got 95 white facial tissues, 195 by 195 millimeter, nice square freaking aspect ratio. It's Quilton, and just full disclosure, I have looked into another Quilton product in this channel some time ago now, but if you dig in to the description, I'll link it, and that was a toilet paper. I can't really remember what I said about it, but yeah, it's Quilton. Now, another full disclosure is I'm usually the kind of gamer that enjoys using Coles / Woolworths brand tissues, the cheaper ones. So it's not often that I get a designer freaking tissue. Anyway, let's have a further inspection of the packet and see what secrets it freaking holds. Now, it doesn't say pretty much anything. Every side, the front, I already read it. All the sides just say Quilton except for the back here, this one, which has got some nitty freaking gritty on it, which I'll read out now. Let me just get a nice look here. Alright. It says open here. It's got a little cutout for where you're meant to stick your thumb in and rip out the freaking guts of it to unlock the tissues. You can kind of make it out there, I think. Anyway, it says Quilton hypoallergenic facial tissues are dermatologically tested, hopefully not on bunny rabbits and little freaking lizards, to be extra gentle on sensitive skin like mine. So that's sounding good. Made in Australia. ABC Tissues product. It's got an address, a freaking little website, and it's got the same kind of stuff for New Zealand, the country that we don't talk about here. And yeah, quilton.com.au. It's got a recycling thing. Please dispose of in your paper recycling bin, it says. Now, and it's got an FSC mix paper. Must be some sustainable forest freaking initiative. Little barcode that you scan at the shops. But the most alarming thing on this back, let me get an enhance on this so I can share it with the freaking world. This is kind of groundbreaking. I don't know how many people pay attention to this, so I wish this would focus better, but just take my word for it that one in the middle has a picture of a guy with a toilet and an illegal mark around it, and it says do not flush. So I wish this would show more clearly. I just really wanna... Can I get this light to freaking give me a better angles? Well look, the middle one is do not flush. And anyway, that's an alarming thing, because I don't know why they say it, but I'm sure there's people across the country and the globe flushing this thing for various reasons, whether they use it as a toilet paper or they freaking wipe something and just flush it, or blow their nose and freaking use a tissue and just flush it. Like, there's a lot of reasons why someone would flush a tissue, and for them to say do not flush, I find it quite alarming, I guess. So hopefully they just say it just in case, and they don't really mean it. It's just like to cover their freaking liabilities or something. It's like, if they really mean do not flush this under freaking any circumstances, they better be looking into this and fixing it, because a lot of everyday people and families like to flush these kind of things. And that's all I needed to say about that. They say do not flush, so whether or not you flush this after seeing this warning is up to you. Yeah. Do not flush. Flush at your own risk, it should freaking say. Extra thick? 3-ply soft. Now, as I said, I don't normally use this kind of expensive tissue. I'm going to say that 95 tissues in a box is not very many. The ones I generally purchase, I'm quite sure have 200. And I don't want to freaking drag on too much about it, but up until recently, the price for one of those was 90 cents for 200 tissues. And it's gone up, and the reason, actually, that I purchased this wasn't to review it, full disclosure, it's because the ones that I normally would purchase were not there. They're all gone. And this one was on special, and I just put it in the handbag, so it was out of freaking necessity that I got this. It's not like I love it. I don't know if I've had this one. I've probably used it in my life, but I don't know if I've ever bought it. But anyway, that's enough of it. I've read all the packet. It says do not flush, and it's dermatologically tested for sensitive skin. So I'm gonna open it now. I'm gonna get my thumb in the little thing. See that? It's been punctured. Should I say pierced? Get my little other finger in there and rip. So there it is. I'm just gonna place this gently to the frickin' side. And here we go. I've unleashed the tissues. Quilton facial tissue, it says there. And well, I'm going to have a look into their website, but I think just because I'm so excited, I'm gonna bust one straight out and get a look at it. So let's do it. Okay, so even I'm gonna add this squeaky little, let's get an ASMR squeak of this. Holy hell, that's squeaky. It's kind of sealed, like, you gotta kind of break that apart. It's got a slit in the middle of it, but it won't. Alright, there it is. It's kind of fused together a bit. I don't think I've encountered that. I don't know why that would be. Extra freshness, I guess. So let's just get one out. See the process. Didn't rip, that's a good sign. And the next one is ready to frickin' rumble. I wish I could put this somewhere where it just sits gently in frame. I guess I could put it on top of my little gaming head. But it's hard to balance that shit. So I'll just put it gently to the side for now. But we'll pull it back into the view later. Alright, so this is the extra thick hypo-allergenic. That's what it looks like. It's pretty clean. Pretty square. It's got a fold in the middle, a distinct fold in the middle. Let's see if I can get it to naturally freaking fold where it is. I guess that's just how they stack them in the box. It's a bit folded elsewhere, but I don't care how folded it is really. No obnoxious folding over itself or anything, which is good. It's meant to be 3-ply, this thing, so we'll have a look at that later. I guess, since this is a full-blown in-depth review, this one can be wasted, actually, and we'll just try and unfold all the ply. So they say it's extra thick. Doesn't seem that thick to me, really, but whatever. Okay, so that just comes straight apart. So that's 2-ply. Where's the frickin' ply? Where's the 3-ply? Okay, this coming apart. Alright, so we've got one individual fold, 2, And I guess this is the 3, so that's 3 ply, right? Okay. Well, it's pretty thick, I guess, with all these plies. So this is just one tissue that's been divided into 3. We'll give it a little test, reckon. General case usage. So I don't mean to get too graphic here, but when I use a tissue, alright, we'll just actually, this is the ply freaking unraveled one. I'll put this away for later, but I'll get a fresh tissue now. So there's only 94 left in here. I'm freaking counting every tissue. Alright, you gotta be quite firm and freaking aggressive with it to get it out of its box, but I don't mind that. I don't mind wrestling with the freaking tissue if I have to. So we got another one. We'll give it a bit of a use, so I'll just turn away a bit so you don't get a full freaking blast. But it's like... Alright. Now that's a blow. I don't have much freaking juice up there, so it's not very freaking... You know, I'm not trying to freaking discuss the viewer here, but there's nothing there. But I'm the kind of freaking gamer that sometimes coughs. Now, I don't want to say spits into a tissue, but I cough into them if I have to, so it's like... I'm not going to show you that. But that's whatever. Now, I'm just going to put this gently away for later. No, I'm not. Alright. I'll get one more out just to demonstrate that I'm freaking deep diving these tissues. So, yeah, you gotta be firm with it to get it out of the box. Now, it is extra thick and it's hypo-allergenic. I made a special effort not to get any of the ones with infused aloe vera or vitamin E oils and stuff, because it upsets me, that stuff. Like, there's nothing on this, I'm pretty sure. And whatever, if anything, is very mild. Those vitamin E ones, when I use it, if I really freaking, you know, get a good use out of it, I'm getting all this soft freaking oily feeling on my nose. It's not really what I want. I don't know who wants that. I can see that it's what it is, like, oh, it moisturizes your freaking nose, or it's whatever, but to me, it's like an unnecessary sensation that actually upsets me. What I just want is a plain tissue, and this 3-ply extra thick hypoallergenic satisfies that criteria. It's pretty good, but you know, it's not really any superior. It is thicker and kind of tougher, you can feel it, than the normal ones I use, which must be 2-ply, I guess. Yeah. It's thick, but I don't know if it's worth the extra premium price, because it's a bit tough to get it out of the box. Like, you gotta freaking wrestle with it. I like the ones that just slide out. Freaking free flow. For ease of access. I'm not out here freaking holding it down, clamping it with one hand and getting it out. Like, if this is sitting on the table, right, I could probably demonstrate. I'll just gently balance it in my freaking hand, and then if I go to get one out, 90 freaking 2 left, the whole thing's gonna lift up. Like, it's still not out, you know, it's clinging onto fucking life. It's tucked in there nice, and the tissue's gonna actually rip before this freaking gets out. So there you go. I freaking ripped it. I didn't rip it, but I freaking ripped it out of there. It's hard to get them out of the box. And this one, actually, it must be me, but it's got a little freaking spot in the middle of it. It's not me. Like, what is that? Can this come through? What is that spot? Like, I didn't just put it there then. You've all seen that spot. That was a freaking defect. Maybe the packet freaking pressurized it there or something when I pulled it, but whatever. I don't even care. It's thick. Extra thick. Alright, now, the tissues are good. No doubt about that. So now let's get a look at the website. Here we go. Straight off the bat, I'm not loving it. This is the homepage of quilton.com.au, and I don't even want to say what it says there, but I don't like it. Now they've got some initiative, 1 million rolls, they're giving toilet paper to the pueblos. They've got that. It's like, I don't know. They got a nose there. This is what I'm looking at. New elevator freaking in action. Can I see it? Alright. They got a family, Tuffy, strongest when wet, proudly Australian, our people. Holy hell. Should I look at that? Is an Australian-owned brand with a wide range of products loved by Australians and proud to be the #1 bestseller here. Well, there you go. They also just so happen to love the motherfucking environment. By buying Quilton, I'm helping to protect forests for present and future generations and helping to promote the responsible sourcing of timber. Now, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Who the hell fucking cares? Some Rainforest Alliance freaks out here care, so whatever. Join the Quilton Club, win a year's supply. They want me to send them my details. Need answers? Get in touch. Whatever. Let's see the archives. Raising tissue to new eyes. Alright, let's come back to this one. Our company. Proudly Australian, but #1 bestseller here. Manufactured or converted in Australia from local and imported materials at our high-tech facilities. How high-tech can a freaking tissue be, really? I guess it can be pretty high-tech in the freaking modern world we live in. Sydney, Brisbane and Perth. See ABC Tissue Products. Australian and proud of it. We're proud to manufacture a range of products locally and in so doing contribute to the wealth of our wonderful nation. Every time I choose Quilton, I'm sure I'm helping Australia and Australians. Well, that's good. Australia's most loved toilet tissue is proudly Australian. Quilton's proudly Australian owned with manufacturing and converting facilities, blah blah blah. They give jobs to over 600 fellow Australians. Thanks for all the support. Over the years, as an Australian in search of the softest toilet paper, I've been a fantastic supporter of Quilton on behalf of our 600 plus fellow Australians who work to bring me the toilet tissue that will always... Okay. Full freaking exposure and disclosure. Quilton had a motherfucking marketing campaign think tank in a room. Boardroom. Okay? I'm not just making this up. This actually happened many years ago on a freaking cold September evening. Don't ask me how I know this, but it's freaking... I received a vision from on high. It's like I went into a trance and I was sitting here minding my own freaking business, and all of a sudden I started shaking and going, oh shit, what is this? And I realized, it's like all at once in my little fucking gaming brain, I realized how they came up with this thing. And it wasn't pretty. They were in a boardroom in the Quilton HQ, ABC Tissue, and some freaking marketing guy said, what are we going to do to say to the Pueblos about our stinking freaking products? And someone was racking their brain. They had a notepad. They probably had a secretary. We'll call her Becky. And the guys were sitting there with their feet on the table, freaking toxic as hell, with cigars and freaking everything. Brandies, whiskeys. They're freaking corporate level executives up here, and they're thinking, what are we going to do to freaking move a few cartons of tissue, toilet tissue? And maybe after the freaking 15th brandy or whiskey, one of the marketing execs got the idea in his freaking head. Oh, I know. Loves your bum. There, I said it. Let me highlight this on the screen. Now, this is like their motherfucking tagline. They say it a lot. And someone came up with it. And someone okayed it. And someone stamped it with the approval. And they've been using it for freaking years ever since. As if it's great. Sorry to have to tell you this, Quilton, but take it from me, it ain't fucking great. And it's inappropriate too. Actually, highly inappropriate in this modern, damn stinking world that we find ourselves living in. So, get it together and change your freaking attitude quick before someone sues the shit out of you for loving their bum more than you should when they didn't give you their freaking consent to love it. And it's none of your damn business, okay? Just change your freaking marketing. Loves your bum is outdated, and you should fire the entire group of whoever is a part of the 600 employees that you've got there that made that a reality. Get them out of the company because they're freaking poisoning it. Okay. Sorry to freaking get so critical about that, but it really makes me sick. And here's the people behind the love. That, look, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Okay? It's not appropriate. Like, unless you're out here on the freaking things that they have ads for on TV. You know what I'm talking about. On those kind of sites. Buying some freaking thing. You shouldn't be saying this about it. I don't care if it's freaking underwear, nappies, toilet paper, and whatever else has business to freaking even be in a position to love your bum in the first place. I'm saying it again. It's like, just don't say it. It's not funny, and it's not freaking cool, and it's not cute. It's just freaking disgusting and freaking dehumanizing. So let's continue on. The people behind the love. Our over 600 Australians work to bring you the Quilton you love every day. That's Tony, Ming, Sally, Sonia, Troy, Anthony, Roger, Joseph, Jason, Robert, Alex, Frank, Bert, Arthur, Chuck, Jonathan, Joey, Loretta, Philip, Jared, Joe, Sonny, Henry, Big Al. The Big Al is probably the one who came up with the frickin' thing that I was just talking about. Are they serious? Sung Van Vladimir is probably a Russian frickin' agent. Alfie, Arif, Mark, Justin, Jasmine, Brian, Simon, Annie, to name but a few. Frickin' thanks for putting Big Al in there. You had to frickin' let the cat out of the bag. It's like they couldn't keep the secret. They just wanted to be funny and witty and, oh, it loves your bum, it's fucking toilet paper. But, Big Al, yeah, you did wrong. Alright, now, let me just apologize for dwelling on this so much, but I'm gonna break this down, because this is freaking a phenomenon that is freaking pretty juicy for me at the time. Listing out names that may or may not necessarily have anything to do with fucking anything. They've listed names, they've got Big Al, they've got freaking Alfie, and Arif, and they're Sung and whatever, Vladimir. But they don't say who they are, they're probably not real, and they've got nothing to do with anything. I don't know who they are, what they do, but they're a part of the 600. It's like, they work to bring me the Quilton I love every day. That's Tony. And Ming. But I don't really know who they are or what they're doing. They're just freaking... They might as well be some list of freaking names to call freaking your baby. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no meaning to these names. And I think that's intended. Like, they're just trying to freaking put in some funny names and think. The Pueblo, which is me, intended to read this. They intend me to read this, and I'm thinking in my little stupid mind, oh, they've got a Tony, they got a frickin' Sally, they're frickin' diverse, I could tally them up. How many lady names, how many man names, how many frickin' names of certain ethnicities? Oh, they got a Big Al. You know, there's only one Big Al that everybody's frickin' thinking of, right? Like, there's probably a few, but if I type into Google Big Al, I think, like, I know what I'm gonna get. So, yeah, that makes me freaking sick. I don't like the pictures too of the freaking toddlers waving around the toilet papers. I don't freaking like it. I don't think it's right. Hopefully Big Al didn't come up with that too. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look at the next page. I don't need a... excuse me. I don't need another tissue yet, but I've still got them sitting here. Alright, so we're looking at the tissues. 250 in that box, that's what I want. We understand the frustration experienced when you can no longer reach your tissues. I understand that. And you get your hands trapped in the friggin' box. I wish I had my old box so I could demonstrate that, because the reason I'm doing this review now is because I ran out of my last box of tissues. I bought these yesterday, but didn't need to open them till now. And so here it is. It's a real world freaking solution, as well as groundbreaking freaking content. Yeah, but whatever. Stress no more with our new and improved tissue elevator found on all Quilton packs of two. Okay. Now every last tissue will be raised to new reachable levels. Okay, so let me analyze that. This is only a pack of 295, so it doesn't feature this new technology. But perhaps 95 packs don't need it. Maybe they're not freaking tall enough. They're thick, but the box is not perhaps tall enough for a hand to get trapped in here. Not a big Pueblo hand like mine, maybe a little tiny hand could get stuck in it. I doubt it. But anyway, it's only for the 250 pack, which sadly this is not. I don't need to see how it works because I don't have it. So let's look at this. They got a cooling lotion 3-ply vitamin E. That's the one I don't want, the oily one. They got a nose on there though. I like the nose. The nose is a lot better than the kids when it comes to friggin' something they should be advertising with, but it's still a bit weird. It's like, holy hell, do they really need a nose? Anyway, moving on. Cooling lotion, menthol. Now this is probably easier to take than the vitamin E, because I think I've used both of these, and the menthol lotion's kind of like soft and oily, whereas this stuff's more of a smell, I think. And I don't mind a menthol if I can get one. Now, 2-ply. That's not this. This one's extra thick. Extra thick 3-ply. Now, the box is different, but this is what we've got. Extra thick 3-ply. Now, let's get a look. It's bringing me the strength of 3-ply and the famous Quilton extra softness. Our extra thick facial tissues are guaranteed to bring a smile to your nose. Okay, is that nose smiling? Which way is he facing? It's a bit of a weird looking nose. Doesn't matter. For really sore noses, they got the aloe. I think the aloe one I've tried, and it's a bit similar to the vitamin E in that it's soft and friggin' annoying to me, so I take care not to ever get those kind of tissues. I don't like them. For extra care, gold 4-ply. Now that's a lot of friggin' damn ply. They must be cutting down ancient friggin' logs in Tasmania to get that. Big old friggin' 100-meter tall trees. Making one box of tissues each. No, it can't be that. I wonder what's the ratio of tissue to tree. That's beyond the scope of this video, but it is something for sure. Shop online, meet the rest of the family. Alright, I think we've got enough out of that page, so we'll get rid of these. We've had a look at the homepage. We're not going to join the club, sadly, even though I can win a freaking something. Okay. This was the most stupid part so far. Like, that list of names is fucking crazy and ridiculous. Whoever came up with that, now that's not as high level as the executive room freaking situation I was describing before, but whoever came up with that is also not helping the Quilton freaking bottom line. They need to be freaking cut loose. So let's get a look at the FAQs. This is a pretty juicy website, I gotta say. Do I got any questions? Alright, is Quilton toilet tissue safe for all toilet systems? Now, this is not Quilton toilet tissue. It's just tissue. But it does say do not flush, so when you see here it says yes, Quilton tissue is safe for any toilet system when a regular amount, so you're not allowed to wipe with 1,000,000 sheets and expect it to flush. So they don't tell you what a regular amount is. Now everyone's different. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty too much, and this is a tissue review, not toilet paper, but it's like, they should do their freaking honest citizen work and tell us, in brackets, what a normal amount is. Because I hope I'm using a normal amount day to day, but it's, how am I meant to know? I know what's normal for me, but what's actually normal? It's hard to say. So they should say, so that I'm not confused. But it doesn't really matter. Is Quilton toilet tissue biodegradable? Yes, it's 100% biodegradable. Now, that's good to know. You don't want a tissue lasting for 1,000,000 years. How many varieties of Quilton products are there? Now this is exciting. Are they going to give us an exact number, or are they going to give us freaking many, and as many as the stars in the sky? Let's see. Okay, they do. They list them, but they don't say how many in total. Well, that's good to know. Can I use as a cloth to wipe my spectacles or other hard surfaces? Can I use the toilet tissue or facial tissue? Although many of our customers use our products for this purpose, we actually do not recommend this. Using any of these to wipe your spectacles or other hard... So they're telling you don't wipe with it. They don't say why, which they should. But let me say, I probably have a ratio of how much I use to wipe and how much I use to freaking use a tissue. And it's probably like 15% maybe of the uses of tissues I get, I use to wipe something. My spectacles, for example, it's like, I think I used my shirt for this today, but you know, I use them to wipe, so they should open that up a bit and say that it's okay, guys. Use them to wipe. Like, why not? Why not, Quilton? Honestly, why? Although many people do it, they don't recommend it. It's like, just recommend it. What's fucking stopping you? Alright. Do Quilton's toilet tissue products have different sheet counts? Yes. The sheet counts is 180 sheets for standard roll and 360 for a double length and 540 for a triple length. Well, there you have it. Why can't I find it in the supermarket? If you can't find it at the supermarket, we'd love to assist. So they want you to call their hotline if there's none in the shop, and they're giving me the impression that they'll cry to the freaking shop and say, why don't you sell our freaking Quilton? But for me, I don't care enough. If they don't sell it, I'll get a different one. I'm not a diehard, so it doesn't really apply to me. What do the words unscented and hypo-allergenic mean? Now this is good, because although I consider myself a tissue connoisseur, I don't really know what hypoallergenic means. Like, I got a general idea of what I think it means, and I don't really care what it means as well, full disclosure, but it's like, it's good to finally be able to learn what it's going to mean. That's exciting. Make sure to fucking tap that comment button if you've learned hypoallergenic's true meaning here today, like I'm about to. What does it mean? When you read the words unscented and hypoallergenic on one of our facial or toilet tissue products, it means it's made without inks, dyes, or perfumes to ensure the product is extra gentle to sensitive skin. That's good. I don't need any dyes or perfumes, really. I appreciate the frickin' thought, but it's not for me. Is there a recycled Quilton toilet tissue product? Now, before I read the answer to this, let me just say, the idea of recycled toilet tissue kind of upsets me. I don't really care how they treat it or what the scientific process is. If they break it down on a molecular frickin' damn level, I just want it to be fresh. So, I hope there is one for the freaks who need it, but I hope that this isn't recycled. I want rather fresh. They get the freaking big huge timber log, They munch it all up in an industrial freaking machine. And they turn it into this, fresh. I don't want them getting the trash old office paper out of freaking hospital that's got all people's shit written on it and munching that up and making my tissue. It could be freaking bit contaminated. Whether the contaminate, like, I'm not talking about it's got a germ in there. It could be freaking accursed is the kind of contamination I'm talking about. So let's just freaking leave it at that. But if you want a full breakdown of that kind of thing, freaking comment the shit out of me. Is there a recycled? Yes. Quilton Eco-Ply toilet tissue, cushion between two ultra-soft outer layers, is a unique middle. It's a fucking toilet sandwich here, toilet paper sandwich. They got two fresh, but in the middle, so it doesn't get too exposed. You know what I'm talking about. So there's not too much freaking contamination, exposures, contact freaking tracing. To the middle recycled filth sheet. The outer sheets freaking are there to protect it. This kind of disgusts me, but the Pueblos probably demanded and said, "We demand a renewable fucking toilet paper by any means necessary." Holy hell. So there's a few more questions. Is there? Is it biodegradable? I think we freaking referred to that. What pack sizes? 30 packs. That's a lot of toilet paper. Is it? I don't really care. This is freaking long. Let's read it though. Quilton face are made in Australia. Quilton toilet tissues comes in over with an annual 50 million packs. The vast majority are made in Australia. From time to time, when there's a freaking toilet shortage, they have to get it from overseas. Or when it's not viable. They're converted to finished products locally across 3 plants. As such a popular brand, one of the best-selling brand, they gotta do it. They gotta sometimes get the freaking materials outside. Sometimes they're saying, so whatever. I don't care. What kind of perfume? The perfume is called Powder Fresh. A light and refreshing scent similar to baby powder. As a precautionary measure, this perfume is added to the glue that binds together the paper core of the tissue roll, rather than on the tissue paper. Quilted unscented toilet tissue is also available. So this is hypo-allergenic. I think they just said before that there's nothing on this one. So whatever. Wire patterns beneath aloe. Decrease allergenic reaction. This doesn't apply, but it's a bit freaking... I don't even want a chance. Like, they're out here decreasing the likelihood. There should be 0 likelihood. So they should work on that. Do they got any pocket sized? Yes, they do. Is the box recyclable? Yes, 100%. However, please remove the plastic window. Okay. So they want me to dig deep in here, probably with a freaking scissors or a knife and fork, and remove the freaking plastic squeaky bit. Are they kidding? Can't they figure out how to do that? Is it Australian owned? This is the last question. For the record, it is proudly Australian owned. To be precise, the thing's 97.7, so Tencent probably has a 2.3 stake in it, or somebody. And that concludes the FAQ. So, I think we've seen this. Yep, there's the list with freaking Big Al. Let's see the environment. They're FSC certified Forest Stewardship Council's what that stands for. Environmentally appropriate, socially beneficial, and economically viable management of the world's forests. The FSC label is your guarantee that in buying Quilton, I'm supporting forest protection for future and present generations. I don't need to learn more. Recycling paper. Advanced Paper Recycling Plant in Brisbane produces 20,000 tons. That's a lot. So that's a lot of tissues. 20,000 tons of hygienic soft recycled tissue from high quality waste paper. That's the stuff I was talking about. People's hospital freaking records. And freaking divorce freaking filings. You know what I'm talking about. Employ environmentally at every stage they could do an environmentally responsible thing. Well, good on them. They're revolutionary de-inking. That's what they're inking, is the little freaking infos of the Pueblos. Holy hell. Holy hell. You're wiping and swiping with God knows what. God knows what was written on that once upon a time, and it was probably recycled freaking more than once already. It could have had freaking, holy hell. That's a bit spooky. It does away... Our revolutionary de-inking process does away with the need for bleaching, so they don't even bleach it. This even enables all waste paper in the mill to be recycled. Whatever. I don't know what that freaking means, all waste paper in the mill. Recycling our packaging. I don't care. Policy statement. There will not be blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. This stuff doesn't freaking excite me enough. I think we got almost all we can from this freaking website. Okay. So now we're going to look at their Twitter. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to. As you've probably noticed, I've got it open here already, and the keen freaking observer may have noticed the freaking name of their handle. Let's get a look at this. At Quilton. Quilton. At loves your bum. So it runs deep. It's not just what they say on the ads. It's not just what they say on the packet. It's what their handle is on Twitter. It's what the freaking banner picture is on Twitter. And here's a nice quote from the week. Let's see what they say. It's from Dumbledore, and it says, "It's not our abilities that show what we truly are. It's our choices." Dumbledore. Harry Potter. Now, straight off the bat, this official Twitter account, which was active 4 hours ago, does not freaking have many followers. Being the country, Australia's #1 toilet paper brand and tissue freaking brand, it's only got 190 Twitter followers, so I don't know how their Facebook's going, and I'm not about to check. But 190 doesn't seem like much. They need to freaking fix this. They need a brand ambassador. Quilton, you have my motherfucking DM address. So, anyway, first of all, they're being a bit insensitive quoting Dumbledore. Now, I know that Dumbledore's a hero to a lot of you out there, and he was the freaking headmaster of Hogwarts, and he did a lot of great and magical things through the years, and he came to a tragic and an untimely end, or whatever the hell happened to him. I'm not really an expert, but what I do know is that now, Harry, like, I don't agree with whatever I'm getting at, but I'm just aware of it. It's that a certain somebody who invented freaking Dumbledore is accused of hate crimes against humanity, and therefore quoting the creation of hers is freaking a bit of an endorsement of her, right? Now, it shouldn't necessarily be that way, but it just is. Like, I've crunched the freaking numbers. So, whether or not Quilton knows it, they're freaking supporting hate crime on some level, from some perspectives. I don't want to get too deep into it, but people who follow the freaking metaverse would know what I'm getting at. So let's see what else they say. Join the club. They're tweeting all the time. What's my New Year's resolution? Jump onto our Facebook. I'm not going to do that. Remember to smile, they say. Holy hell. Merry Christmas. Wishing everyone a Merry... On the 24th they tweeted this, so they must be... Who are they catering to? Is their Twitter run by some other country where they tweet Merry Christmas on the 24th in Australia? They should be aware of this being the #1 Australian blah blah blah. Tweet Merry Christmas on Christmas Day. It's 25th, guys. Whatever. They got a kitty cat? Riddle of the day. Where did you find a present for the cat? In the catalogue. That's kind of funny. That's the best thing I think I've seen of them so far. They got a picture of a kitty cat. With a little bell. That's pretty nice. They got the nose here. Is that what I got? No, that's cooling lotion. Giveaway. Okay. That moment, they're memeing out here. That moment when having children starts to pay off. Is this what they're freaking endorsing out here? It's like the person freaking regrets having kids and they hate their kids' guts until one day they're freaking on the toilet and they need a toilet paper but they don't have one, and their freaking little kid comes and brings them a toilet roll. Is that what this is? And then it's like, oh well, look, it's freaking starting to pay off. Am I getting this? It might be freaking, like, I don't know. I don't know about that. Only 8 days. They're loving Christmas. Okay. They got a little cartoon. I'm trying to read sideways what it says here. The person's put a little freaking ring around the rosy on the toilet, and it says, I may be going a bit overboard. And he's got his hands behind his back for some reason. I don't get it. This is a bit over my head. It's freaking eyebrow. Okay. This is where it all began. Blah blah blah. They got a teddy bear. Why don't teddy bears order dessert? Because they're always stuffed. And I think I've seen about enough of their Twitter. It's good, but it's not great. And they're trying, so hopefully the stuff I said before, like the people in the marketing freaking section of Quilton and ABC tissue toilet freaking ink. Hopefully the people responsible for the tagline or whatever it is, the slogan, loves your bum, and the thing that says Big Al and Susie and Ming and all that. Hopefully that person or those people aren't having anything to do with this Twitter, because as I said, they're not helping anything. And yeah, the company would be better off without them. That's all I wanted to say about the website and the Twitter. So I'm going to give my final thoughts on Quilton. 3-ply extra thick. Now, these are the tissues I got for now, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. But yeah, there's only 95. There's only probably about 90 of them left, so I'm going to have to freaking be conservative with how I use them. But it doesn't matter. Hopefully, no disrespect to Quilton, no matter how... Look, that tagline, the slogan, the Twitter handle, just freaks me the hell out. They really need to change that. Like, it's freaking not on, okay? I'm telling you, Quilton. And it's not me who's offended by it, it's just in general. Like, I don't think it's appropriate anymore. It might have been cute and freaking cheeky once, but now it's just freaking... It's past its freaking time, Quilton. The world has changed since whenever you made that decision. I hate to be the one that has to tell you, little old freaking 350 here, but that's the way it is. And that about sums it up. I bought this on special because my regular tissue was unavailable. I believe it costs it costs $1.25, I'm pretty sure, and that's on special. Normally I think it's probably even freaking $2 for a juicy, thick freaking 3-ply big booty tissue like this. Yeah, it's probably $2. And $1.25, it's worth it. It's thick. It's a bit hard to get it out of the packet, but it's worth it to keep them extra secure because they're precious. There's only 95 of them. And yeah, if you want a thick freaking tissue that's hypo-allergenic and loves your bum, freaking get it. But if you don't freaking go for that kind of thing, consider your options. I am satisfied with this product, but I don't care about it, and I wish they would change their freaking marketing up a bit. You don't need the kids, and you don't need the freaking say the stupid things you say, and forget about Big Al and all the rest of his buddies. That list literally had like 20 names or something. I'm freaking puffed after reading that. I'll get a bit of a cough, one last final cough. Oh, okay, that was the one that I dismantled. So I'll just throw this one away. I'll get one last fresh one, full disclosure. I get a bit of a big juicy cough in there. And yeah, thanks for sticking with it, and make sure to comment your thoughts below if you got any ideas. And yeah, Quilton, extra thick 3-ply, DOS 350 legit. Thanks for watching.